So last week, the New Development Bank, also known as the BRICS Bank, approved a second loan of $1 billion to assist in job creation and contain the economic fallout of the COVID-19 pandemic in South Africa. But Cas Coovadia, who is with Business Unity South Africa, the CEO of BUSA, is appealing for that money not to be used for public sector jobs. He joins me now on all angles for a conversation on why that is the case. And Cas, thank you for talking to me. So the statement issued by the New Development Bank speaks precisely about this money being used to support job creation, particularly in the public sector, as part of President Cyril Ramaphosa's presidential employment stimulus announced in October last year. But you believe this should not be happening. Why?
Yeah, Thulasizwe, thanks for having me. What we believe is that the best way to create sustainable jobs in our country is to actually create an environment for investment, both local and global, and of that manage a growth path that will enable current businesses to grow, to develop, to be profitable, that will enable new businesses to grow, making it easier for new businesses to grow. And that's the most sustainable way to actually create sustainable and long-term jobs. So we believe that any money we borrow, be it from the New Development Bank or anywhere else, needs to be used to promote investment and growth. And we have taken the view, as have rating agencies, as has National Treasury in this country actually, that the public service is already bloated, that one of the single biggest costs on the fiscus at the moment is the public service. And to continue to increase the public service at a time when we have a fiscal crisis is a problem. So if we're going to borrow money, we've got to use that money in infrastructure and other areas that directly create the environment for investment and put us onto a growth path, so that the growth path enables us to actually deal with our fiscal situation, and through growth we can actually manage the money we are borrowing. Otherwise, what we're doing is we're simply increasing our debt and not having any additional income and increase in growth to actually service the increased debt, and simply puts a greater burden on our
So by implication, Cas Coovadia, what you're saying is what government has borrowed this money for, what it intends to do with this money, is not sustainable. If you're making the case for using it to encourage, growth and investment as being more sustainable, it means the other path, which is the path that government has taken, is not sustainable.
That's what we would argue. We believe that there are areas even of infrastructure investment where this money can be used and that can actually directly promote growth. So things like putting money into the Durban port to fix it up, to sort it out, to make it more efficient and more competitive, to sort out our railroad system so that people don't have to spend so much time and so much money traveling from places of residence to work. That immediately has a direct economic income. And there are other areas. And so we believe that this should be used in infrastructure development and other areas that directly promote investment and growth.
Do you believe that the president is open to hearing you? Because I suspect that a promise of 700,000 jobs in the public sector, perhaps by implication, also suggests that the president believes that, a direct impact in as far as employment is concerned can be achieved via the public sector, perhaps as a subtle statement, perhaps some would say, about whether or not the private sector is coming to the party in as far as large-scale decisive employment programs are concerned?
Well, the private sector has said for the last 3 or 4 years that we are businesses are ready to invest in this country if the environment for investment is created. South African businesses are investing in other parts of the continent because the environment for investment is actually being created in other parts of the continent. I think businesses would want to invest here. It doesn't make sense for a corporate to keep its money in a bank. It's far more profitable for the corporate to actually grow its businesses or create more businesses. But we need to have the environment for that investment. So I think to say that the private sector has not actually come to the party to create jobs is, in our view, not the correct argument, because what we are saying that we want to invest, we can't invest if the environment for investment is not there. Global players are saying they want to invest here, but again, the environment for investment is not there.
So it seems to me then
we should be concentrating.
It seems to me then, Cas Coovadia, that there seems to be a bit of a stalemate here. Because if you ask the Ramaphosa administration, they will tell you that they've made significant inroads in as far as things such as the ease of doing business and starting up business and creating an environment that's conducive for investment. But you are saying, on the other hand, that the environment just doesn't exist. And it seems in this stalemate, there's no movement forward then in as far as job creation is concerned.
Well, we continue to engage government on this. Through NEDLAC with other social partners, we have high-level engagements with government. And we will continue to engage. We have, through the Business for South Africa platform last year, we had produced a post-COVID economic recovery strategy document, which put certain markers. So we're saying that the government is saying that the ease of doing business has improved in the country. Well, then our ratings in the ease of doing business index should go up. They haven't gone up. We use that as one marker to say that there's progress. Another marker is that our ratings in the World Competitive Index must go up. They haven't gone up yet. So I think that there are certain global ratings that indicate whether we are making progress towards creating a better environment for investment. Let's begin to make an improvement in our standing in those ratings. That will begin to show and begin to demonstrate to investors, potential investors, that we are creating that investment environment. So, businesses are about investment, growth, profitability. If those exist, and the possibility that those exist, there's no reason why businesses shouldn't invest and shouldn't create jobs.
All right, thank you for your insights there. That's BUSA CEO, that's Cas Coovadia, talking there about the new development bank loan of some $1 billion, which has now been granted to South Africa to assist with the issue of employment creation in the public sector. Clearly, you heard there for yourself that in many ways, government and business are not on the same page, really, on what progress has been made in as far as creating an environment that's conducive for investment and job creation by the private sector. Business believing that there's still some way to go. I mean, even today, President Ramaphosa, writing in his newsletter, he's hailing progress that he says is being made in as far as the port of Durban is concerned, that since the areas of weakness were identified, there's some progress that was made. But you talk to business, they will have a different assessment of it all.